What's up, everybody? This is another Humpcast Quickie, and we are going to be reviewing Spider-Man Homecoming. Okay, so right off the bat, I really enjoyed this movie. I thought it was a fun movie, you know, as opposed to a lot of these grim comic book movies that we've been seeing a lot of lately.
You're letting him kill Martha. What does that mean?
Way more of a change of pace than a lot of the stuff that we've seen. I think even Galaxies, Guardians of the Galaxy, got a little bit, I think, more of the darker tones this year than last year. So this is probably the most lightest of the comic book movies this year.
I think it's one of the lightest. I just like the whole tone of the movie, and I just, you brought up Guardians of the Galaxy and stuff like that. It just seems some of the movies are starting to become less epic, these superhero movies, and I think with Spider-Man, it was the most Spider-Man we've gotten out of the movie so far.
Sure.
I liked your cameos in the in Spider-Man, by the way.
Oh, I know, it was great, right? They called me
Steven Rogers.
Just had to do a little cameo. No, those are funny. I love the movie. I thought it was great. Like I said, I think it's the best representation of Spider-Man we've seen, even with the Raimi ones and those Mark Webb ones. Like,
Everybody hates those ones so much. I'm still a fan. Anyway, this one probably takes the cake. And as far as Spider-Man movies go, it was, I mean, it had heart. It had, everything you would think a teenage Peter Parker would be was, really brought out on this in this movie. Everything I would be like if I were Spider-Man as a teenager.
Well, that's the thing. That's what I said. It's the closest to the comic books. I mean, he's trying to balance being a superhero, like doing school work and stuff like that. Right. He's dropping out of robotics. He's doing, he's missing the academic decathlon, just trying to like do both. And that was really, I really enjoyed seeing that aspect of him instead of just full-time Spider-Man. I'm an adult living in Manhattan.
Yeah, exactly. I'm gonna go get yelled at and abused by J. Jonah Jameson.
Right,
Yeah.
right. Well, this takes place right after Civil War, which I thought was really cool. The way they, I mean, even in the beginning sequence where he had his own little video diary of his trip to Germany.
Yeah, that was fucking awesome.
Which was really cool because then that kind of gets you already like in the idea of what this character's like, and he's just so stoked to be a part of the Avengers.
And it still kind of makes him a photographer. They took a lot.
Yeah.
It makes it shows he's interested in documenting and all that stuff.
Yeah, I didn't either.
Well, I just thought that's what everybody does.
Yeah,
true. Snapchat. Yeah. That's just the culture now. So I didn't think of it as like that's still him being a photographer.
Let's go ahead and talk about what we liked, what we disliked, our reviews. You guys have seen our quickies before. You know the setup. You haven't? Well,
you'll have to forgive this one. We're sweating our balls off right
now. We film in Southern California in Humpcast Studios, aka a garage.
Yeah,
and in
case you can't tell by our wonderful backdrop.
Yeah. And it was about 102, 103 today.
It was hot.
Oh no, not 100. Sorry.
We loved how much, like we said, was just it was almost like its own kind of genre of film. It wasn't just that's what's being presented so great with these Marvel movies is that each film is like it's a completely different style of movie. Yeah. It's not like just the same fucking crash bang burn fucking action.
Yeah, and that's
movie.
what I really like because they really played into the friendly neighborhood Spider-Man. Like he was just in Queens.
Yeah,
and if you look at it, the scope of the whole thing, the stakes weren't that high. He's trying to stop a guy from selling guns in his neighborhood. Yeah. Like it wasn't some big like world-ending like cataclysmic event. It wasn't a lizard trying to turn people into other lizards.
Right.
Yeah. And it just that's what I really enjoyed. It was just small, but it was very believable. But it was still, entertaining. In that aspect. It's just stops some guy from selling, these guns in my neighborhood.
Right.
Yeah.
The Vulture
Vulture.
Played by Michael Keaton, who did a great fucking job, by the way.
Oh yeah.
One of the greatest somebody pointed this out on a podcast I was listening to. Is it one of the greatest moments in like cinematic?
What the twist?
we'll get to that.
There was that, but then there's a moment where, we get to the twist, but there's just that moment where they're in the car together, and there's just the tension.
Oh,
that
yeah.
you
When he finally puts it together in his head,
and he's like the whole drive, you're just like, oh fuck.
I did not see it coming.
I didn't either. Not at all.
I'm really good at I'm like, all right, this is what's gonna happen, and no idea. Like when he got to the door, in my head, I'm like, oh shit.
Oh shit, he found out who he was already.
No, I was like, oh shit, it's gonna be Flash, because they were doing the whole high school thing with Flash Thompson. I'm like, what if it's gonna be like a Carrie kind of a moment where he goes to
Flash
take the girl.
takes the girl. That's what I was thinking too. Something I was like, this seems like something's bad's gonna happen. Not too bad, but like something's. Poor Peter.
No, I thought.
I was like, how did he find out where she lived? Like, how did she?
Yeah. Okay. So this is what happens, right, in the movie. Peter finally asks this crush out, and then he goes to her house to pick her up for homecoming, and Michael Keaton's character opens the door, and then we realize that that's her father.
Dun dun dun.
And then, that was like a huge plot twist.
They set it up perfectly because even in the beginning when Damage Control came in, Michael Keaton was all about like, yo, I got a family.
Yeah.
I'm doing this for my family.
Yeah.
We never saw his family. But it was believable. Like, yeah, he's doing this for his family.
Yeah.
And it helped that his crush was black. And nobody saw the interracial thing coming.
Biracial.
Apparently half black.
No one. She's half black, but come on now. You look at her, I'm like, oh, it's a black girl.
Yeah.
It's not. Whatever.
That's gonna be the new thing to get away with things. Like, oh, she's half this.
Yeah, they just make them.
Even one of the Spider-Mans from 2099, he's half Mexican, half Irish. So he'd be like, oh, I'm just half of this.
Yeah. Oh, really?
But it was a perfect setup. They set it up perfectly.
Yeah.
No one saw. Even when he was at the house, there was like no pictures of like the family, like for the party.
Oh, yeah, for the party.
Right.
In the middle.
That
like,
would have been
a
good Easter egg though if there actually was, and it was kind of like out of focus. But I didn't.
But he was only there for like 5 minutes, so he
still. But Ned was there.
Yeah.
Can we talk about Ned?
Yeah,
of course. But
Ned being Peter Parker's best friend.
I don't think Ned ever saw Vulture, so he never.
No,
knew.
I just meant the character.
Just
Ned.
the character.
Oh, yeah.
Spider-Man, like for me, like reading the comic book, Spider-Man never needed a best friend, but goddamn, like
yeah,
it's great.
So
for a
good.
best friend. Like Ned was great. He was a great character.
That's another thing too, that they nailed like a modern day version of what this person would be like, and if you were best friends with this guy, like of course you would be exactly like Ned.
Yeah.
Can I tell everyone? Like Peter knows Spider-Man. Yeah. Yes, and then so I've actually heard people say that no one talks like that. I'm like, yeah, maybe if you're like in your 30s and you're like under control, maybe. We're 15, 14, whatever. They're freshmen. They're sophomores.
Think about this in high school.
We're like, fuck
you couldn't keep.
He knows this guy.
You remember how many rumors went around in high school when we were high school age? Like, yeah, fuck yeah, like my best friend's Spider-Man. Like it should. It would have been
I'm
like
surprised
that.
he didn't just say that.
Right. Just like everybody.
Peter is Spider-Man.
Well, and then everybody thought he was lying when he said he knew Tony Stark and all that stuff.
True.
But
and then I also like the way that they actually nailed Spider-Man and his dilemmas because. Like, let's take the party scene, for instance. He was just about to go in and be like, hey, what's up? Hey, I'm friends with Peter Parker, as Spider-Man.
Right.
He sees the explosion off in the distance, and he could easily probably have just, like, showed up for, like, 5 minutes and gone to check it out. But he's like, no, this is something I need to go and do because it looks like something's wrong. And he basically, he comes back and he finds out that he was right. He's like, they're saying, what, Penis Parker? They call him Penis Parker. Like, I fucked up, but he chose the right route.
Yeah, that's kind of what I'm talking about, like the tone of the movie. Yeah, and the balance of him trying to like balance his personal life with his Spider-Man life, and also just the whole John Hughes teen angsty comedy kind of like aspect of it.
Yeah,
there's a lot of that.
Really played well. I mean, it was obvious with the shot of Ferris Bueller.
Which
like when I was sitting there watching that sequence when he's running through this. Hold on, let's get how that started. So. Other friends always had these running jokes like Spider-Man's only good in New York because of the buildings and he can swing.
Right.
And they throw a scene in there
where he's in the suburbs.
Where he's in the suburbs and he shoots his web and he's like on a golf course.
This is a golf course and he has to run.
He has to run.
He has to run across. They did a lot of those things. Like there was a lot of like small time like you're like, oh yeah, like of course,
even when he was in the city because he's so brand new, he hit the fucking roof because he misjudged.
And then he still hit.
And so I was like, I really love. This is probably one of my favorite things about here. Is our overall arcing thing, the attention to detail of all this stuff that you might not have thought of watching the movie, but everyone has this probably these remarks about Spider-Man. Oh, he like this. He's only good in New York. He's only good here. He can only do this. He probably doesn't do that. Like, yeah, they thought of all that. There's all these little details. One being, even just the fucking reveal of the dad. Everything, all the little minute things were so good. And I really want to hand it to both Marvel and Sony. For those of you that don't know, this is a deal between Marvel and Sony. It's owned by Sony, but he is in the MCU because they made a deal for them to be able to work
like
together.
Marvel does the creative side and Sony does the advertising.
It's
and
very hand in hand, but they both get says at the end.
The conversations between him and Ned after Ned finds out that his best friend is Spider-Man,
And what a way to find out too. And no lie, that's something that would happen. Like there's been times where it's like, oh, so and so will be home, just we'll wait in his room.
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah, I've done that. You've done that.
Yeah.
I come home like, oh hey, what's up?
Yeah.
Yeah, and then he has all those questions for him. Do you know Iron Man?
Yeah.
He's
Can
like,
you summon a bunch of spiders?
Yeah,
Yeah,
you summon a
I
bunch
love
of spiders. Yeah. Do you lay eggs?
I thought it was like, do you lay eggs? He just thought him up. He's like, oh fuck, does he do this? Hey.
Yeah. But my favorite one was like, so you got bit by a radioactive spider? Can it bite me?
Yeah, no. I'm like, are there more? I want to do that. I want to be Spider-Man. I want to be a Spider-Man.
But I just see those little things like that too. They didn't need to explain. It was just
'Cause we've seen it already.
So it was just kind of a
If
throwaway.
they showed Uncle Ben get killed again, I would have walked out of
Right.
the theater.
And not one mention of Uncle Ben.
No, not even.
Not one.
I miss Ben. Ben
Or-
would have done this.
Like,
Or-
we've seen it. We don't need to see it again.
And not. I thought for sure there was going to be with great power comes great responsibility quote.
No, they did that
No.
in Civil War when you can do things, but you don't do things.
Right.
You get that whole
Yeah.
thing. What I liked what they did with Marissa Tomei as Aunt May. Like we're gonna acknowledge that she's a very attractive,
Fucking hot.
older
She's
woman.
so hot. What's
Yeah,
she in
I
her
know.
50s? I think.
Gotta be,
I don't know.
Same
I-
age as
no.
as Robert Downey Jr.
We looked it up. I think she was in her 50s. And
Yeah. And so I liked how they played in that. Like Tony Hart kind of flirting with her, the guy at the Thai restaurant, like
Yeah.
bringing the sticky
Everyone-
rice.
yeah.
Like everyone's. I like that. And then what I think.
oh, by the way, I thought there was this one scene where she drops off Ned and Peter at the party.
Yeah.
And I totally thought it was going to be a super bad moment where Ned was like, dude, your aunt's so
Yeah, me
hot.
too.
I was thinking that in my head.
We said they were listening to fans and they're paying attention to detail. We're not going to do things we've seen before. Like
Right.
we got a new villain. We got Vulture in here.
And
Which, by the way, probably one of the best Marvel villains, because he's technically in the MCU, ever. Him and
Scary.
Loki. Huh?
Yeah, no, I said he was scary.
Yeah, he was scary
scary.
and a good fleshed out villain.
Yeah.
Like you saw his motives. You
And
saw
they made
There were certain
sense.
points where I'm like, yeah, I could see doing that.
Michael Keaton did a fucking just phenomenal
This is
job
it,
though.
like that's what we said. Like the scope of it. Like everyone's motivations were just.
Yeah.
Like I'm gonna sell guns because fuck Tony Stark. He's taking like money out of my family's
yeah,
he's
he's
pocket.
costing us
I'm
money.
gonna do this.
We could end up homeless. Like literally, I think one of the best quotes I've heard is a true villain doesn't see himself as a villain. He's the hero in his story.
And that's the problem I had with the last two Amazing Spider-Man movies because you have a lizard who wants to turn everyone into a lizard just because why?
Yeah.
And then you got Electro who's mad because Spider-Man didn't show up for his birthday. Like get the
Right.
fuck out of
and
here.
Green Goblin
Like,
is
it
Green
was-
Goblin because why not?
And it was just so nice to have.
Rhino.
Yeah, it was just so nice to have just clear motivations by characters
Yes.
that made
And
sense.
and we always see these.
like a super villain.
There's too many of them.
Yeah.
The
so you can't.
mustache twirling supervillains.
Yeah, because there was technically two Spider-Man villains. You had Shocker and you had Vulture.
Right. I mean, but Shocker was just a little throwaway guy.
Here's the thing. There was also Easter eggs for more villains that, unless you actually knew the comics or saw the TV show or familiar, you didn't really understand all that much. But it was a good
Like what?
with the Scorpion.
No, one you did have the Scorpion. The Tinkerer was the guy
Yeah.
that made all the stuff. Like there's little bits and pieces
And then
that
the whole
show you that the world is bigger.
Miles Morales.
Miles Morales. Let's get to that. Donald Glover, who is
Yeah, he's in two scenes.
well, no,
Yeah, he's only in like two scenes.
But here's the thing. So Donald Glover, he voices Miles Morales. If you're unfamiliar, Miles Morales is another Spider-Man. He basically is the newer Spider-Man after Peter Parker dies in the comics. In this one, there's a lot of Easter eggs. Donald Glover plays a character who is actually known as one, the villain, the Prowler in the comics, and two, the uncle to Miles Morales, where he actually says, "I have a nephew in this city," and that's why he helps Spider-Man.
Yeah.
That's the whole reason he's like, oh, you can find so and so at the boat, the ferry,
Right.
because I have a nephew in this city and I don't want him to grow up, with that kind of fire. Even though he's a fucking gun pusher. He's like, I just want to buy some guns.
Yeah, he's like, I just want something to stick somebody up with.
Yeah.
Like,
But he doesn't.
I'm not
want
trying to
those guys
evaporate
there.
people.
Yeah.
The whole aspect of that is they flipped the whole Peter Parker Mary Jane thing. Mary Jane was like this, the hot girl,
Party girl
that he wanted and he couldn't get. And now, like, I'm not saying Peter's like the cool guy, but it's kind of flipped now that MJ is the loser who has a thing for Peter.
Sure.
But, she's still trying to like chase him. That's because it made sense at the end, like when when he left the table and that little look she gave, like when friends call me MJ, and you can see like, oh, she is into him. She wasn't just there because she's a fucking weird girl sitting in detention. Like she was in detention sitting there,
I like how
drawing
she was
him.
in all these scenes, by the way.
Yeah, because she's fucking into him, and I like how they kind of hid that to the end, and then the whole MJ reveal,
She
which
was in
everybody
the pool
already
party
knew.
scene. Like some people didn't see this, but she was just sitting in the corner reading a book when he was looking in the window. I was like, she's just always there.
Yeah.
I did kind of want to bring this up because I didn't have any negatives. The one thing I didn't like was so she's MJ, but she's very clearly her name is not Mary Jane. It's Michelle whatever. I think they said in the credits, I forgot what her name was, but it's not Mary Jane.
No.
And I'm like, I could have done without that because you're not making a Mary Jane character. You're making a new character. If you're going to make a new character, just make a new character. I think that was the biggest trolling thing that Sony / Marvel could have done, because if you are gonna introduce Mary Jane in the future, it's just to troll. If you're gonna make her a love interest and just name her MJ and not have Mary Jane, that's weird. Like, why would you do that without just making a new character? That was my biggest negative, which is not even a big negative.
Well, this is a very diverse movie.
Yeah.
And there was probably a lot of people pissed off about that. Think about it, like there are like exactly, fuck them. But you're still a business who wants to make money. You want to get as many people in the seats as you can.
And they did a good job. By the way, we're filming this on Monday. Over the weekend, $117 million.
Yeah, because you think about like when the first Force Awakens trailer came out, and we saw Finn like dressed as a stormtrooper, and fucking people flipped out on.
Why is there a black stormtrooper?
Well, you know what's funny is like it goes both ways too, because I even saw something on Huffington Post complaining about how not diverse enough it was, because still
Star Wars or
Spider-Man. That Peter Parker was still white and the director was still white. I'm just like, yeah, dude.
We got a black MJ. We got a fucking Indian Flash. His fat friend. I don't even know what race he was.
He looked Filipino or Indian.
He looked like Hawaiian or something.
Yeah, it looked like a fucking normal high school with just a bunch of mixed kids fucking hanging out.
Right.
Like, shut up.
Not enough, bro.
Yeah.
And then that weird Asian kid that was in chess club and just showed up all the time too.
Hey, what are you doing? And then fucking insta kill mode, bro. I want to see that in Infinity War. I want to see
kill mode.
His eyes turn fuking black, and he has these red dots, and he's like, I want to see these insta kill. I don't know what they're probably like bullet webs or something. I don't know. But shit,
Insta kill mode. Well, I like.
He has so much stuff he's yet to tap, which I actually really like. That they made his training montage scene. He was trapped in a warehouse. He's like, well, I guess I'll learn the suit.
Yeah.
How long have I been in here? 37 minutes.
Like, how did that happen?
Let's talk about what villains we want to see in the future.
Mysterio for sure.
Mysterio and do a maximum.
We said Mysterio Craven.
This is why I said Sony fucked up earlier, because this is what I want to see. I want to see a Maximum Carnage movie.
They already have Venom and Carnage on the books.
But they're not going to do it
happening.
because they're not going to do it because the whole Venom and Carnage thing is not going to be a part of the MCU.
This is
but
where
it is. The last.
But it's
I've
not
heard.
though. There's no if
Spider-Man
Spider-Man is not in the movie, then it's going to be a shit movie.
Yeah, so it's just like, you guys, fuck you, Sony.
I'm gonna.
You're taking that away
give
from
him
me.
the benefit of the doubt.
It's not going to be good
until I see a trailer.
But like Mysterio would be a great one. Like I said, Craven would be a great one. If somehow they can bring in like Kingpin and do like that thing. I would love to see that.
They would be the first MCU movie to do that.
Yeah, they've already talked about the Scorpion. I mean, we already saw like.
Did we have a Scorpion?
No, we haven't done Scorpion before.
No, we haven't seen the Scorpion.
No,
not in a movie, huh?
Not in a movie, no.
No, I mean we can go that route.
It's Chameleon. Chameleon was actually the first. By the way,
Chameleon's
fun fact,
Craven's half brother.
Is the first Spider-Man supervillain ever announced in the comics. Right. But I think he would be a really fun one because we even haven't had any sort of shapeshifter in the MCU.
And if you want to do the Hobgoblin, do the Hobgoblin.
He's not Green Goblin.
I don't want a Green Goblin.
I just don't want to see a Green Goblin.
I'm with you.
I told you they're doing a Black Cat Sable movie. Announced. They've announced a Black Cat Sable.
Who's they? Sony or Marvel?
Oh, that's to be Sony. Sony owns.
They own the rights to.
This is what I'm talking about, bro.
I'm worried about a Sony. Like,
they keep doing this shit, and they're separating it.
And they shouldn't. They just let Marvel do it. Let Marvel make you money. Why don't you want them to make you money? Like,
What?
Obviously, you guys
No,
have
I'm
had the
saying
character.
they own the rights. They're gonna make a movie regardless.
Yes, but they're gonna get like just how
It's just
Marvel
ruining
help
it for
you.
their fans,
Have
though.
Marvel help
I'm
you.
sure they're having input on it, somewhat input. Whether they listen or not is up to Sony. But
Yeah.
I don't know. We don't know
because that's
what
the thing.
happens behind
Like,
their doors.
like that's the thing with Spider-Man. They gotta listen to Marvel for Spider-Man. You know,
Just hate
let
that. I
them-
just feel like they're ruining shit like this for the fans. You know, I
Yeah.
mean, I take
Oh,
the
of
shit.
course.
I take the shit personally.
like when they say why
are you doing this to me, man?
Seriously, when they cast like Tom Hardy for Venom, I was so fucking happy. And then I was like, it's gonna have nothing to do with Spider-Man.
Nothing to do with the
And it
Spider-Man,
was
yeah.
like, fuck you. Like I'm not even gonna go. I'm not mad.
I don't know. I mean, it's fucked up that my favorite. I mean, Spider-Man's my favorite Marvel character, and it's like in a custody battle.
Yeah.
so it sucks that I love all the MCU movies. I love them so much.
We're the kids, and we were like, "What's happening between mommy and daddy?"
Exactly.
Like, I just wanted to stop and everything to be okay.
Exactly. It's like I want to see my favorite hero play with the Earth's mightiest heroes and play nice.
Right now, that's what he's doing.
Well, that is, but I'm just getting upset about the future because, of course, this movie was great,
Yeah.
but all the other
Well,
stuff.
okay,
We understand how great it could be with like some of those villains, especially Venom and Carnage and a Maximum Carnage story. Like how great that movie would be, and it's just disappointing that
Yeah.
we may
I'm
not
just-
see that.
I'm just getting pre-sad,
because
I think.
Sony.
About the scene where Marissa Tomei walks in.
Oh yeah.
Oh
What
my
the
god,
fuck?
that's right.
Peter's okay. So you guys all saw it. Fucking the bag's there. He puts on the suit, and then the camera pans. You see Marissa Tomei. What the? And then
Yeah,
credits.
It was the best. It was so good.
So where do you think it's gonna go now that she knows that he's Spider-Man?
Because this is amazing.
Is it an amazing Spider-Man?
This is spectacular. Oh, Jesus.
I mean, they can go the whole like. I mean, I know worried Aunt May that she knows now. Her trying to get him to stop. Like, I think Tony's gonna die in Infinity War.
Infinity War.
The other end credit one I want to talk about is when he talks. They go back. They're in the prison. You have the Vulture seeing Matt Gargan, the Scorpion, and the Scorpion says, "Hey, I heard a rumor said that you knew who Spider-Man was. I have some friends outside
Yeah.
that want to take him down. One, that first of all, I think that might be an allusion to the Sinister Six or some of those people.
No, I
'Cause
think
it's
the
Mac-
Sinister
I don't
Six
know.
is too big, and he wasn't the Scorpion yet.
Not yet.
You
Yeah.
know, so
That we know about.
I
You
think
could have a lower level Scorpion.
I think he
thing.
probably just has like lower level thugs that he knows,
Could be.
that he ran with.
But also, let's talk about the fact that
He didn't give him
Michael
up.
Keaton didn't give him up.
Yeah,
So let's talk about that.
So what does that mean?
Do you think that that is him sort of churning good, kind of redeeming himself?
I think
B,
that's him keeping him for himself.
yeah, or B, keeping him all for himself, or something different.
Or I think he has his own plan, maybe.
yeah. Like when
kill
it,
Yeah.
when it first happened, when I was
Well, like you said, the
watching-
Tinkerer is the
Shocker's
Yeah.
still out there.
still out
I think-
there. Tinker and Shocker are still out there.
Yeah.
I doubt Michael Keaton would have given up any of his crew.
yeah,
Right.
He seemed pretty loyal to all of them.
yeah. Because at first I thought he was doing it for his daughter, but I'm like, no, they picked up and moved to Oregon,
Right.
so it's not like that. But I think it's probably just some kind of like a revenge plot, like he's mine, like I'm not gonna let.
I think
anybody else.
that thought is in his head, but I actually do think that it is more so they're trying to make him Sony, quote unquote, his version of Loki, where he's good when he wants to be and bad when he wants to be.
Nah.
Well, he wasn't really
He
like.
saved his life in the end of the movie.
I know,
he could have left him to die.
But
Spider-Man
listen-
saved his life and his family's.
Well,
or
true,
his daughter.
and he's not really a super villain. He robs cargo
Yeah,
vans.
He was
Yeah.
a blue collar criminal.
Yeah.
He just realized he had to step
And
his
it was
game
just
up
like-
because the world's changing.
Yeah, and it was just like this little guy's fucking with my business.
Oh, really? So you guys read it as like just him trying to cover it up, like cover up for Peter Parker? That's weird. I
Oh
don't,
hell yeah!
I don't.
No,
I didn't really.
I think
I didn't
like
really
you
read it
said,
like that.
I think
Harry Potter, like Voldemort, nobody can kill Harry Potter but me.
Right.
You know?
Sure.
Kind of the same thing. Like, yo, like he fucked up my business. He broke up my family. Like, this guy's mine.
But
Like,
you think
But at
he?
the same
You
time,
think
I think
because
there's at
he
least
left
a little bit of that.
he left him to live, he won't give up his identity.
Yeah, he.
Oh, that's
Michael
yeah,
Keaton
that
is
too.
not your mustache twirling villain. I think he's like you saved my life, my family's life. I will not let you die at least while I'm in here. If there's gonna be some comeuppance, it's gonna be me.
Yeah,
So it's a little bit of both.
Yeah, because think about it. When he was having the dad talk, it was like,
Yeah.
you saved my daughter's life. You know, I do
Yeah,
anything
that
for
was
my
I
already
respect
family,
that, yeah.
There's
So
already
I'm
an
gonna
example
let
of
you
that.
go.
Yeah.
You know, just stay out of my shit. and then he got into his shit, and then he saved his life. So
That
it's just
whole
like-
scene, man, is just
that
that
was
was
the
so
best.
fucking great.
I even love the part
Everyone
like they
was
didn't
losing their shit.
they didn't show much focus on it, but like when he's like, I'm gonna have dad talk, and he pulled the gun out.
Yes.
They didn't really focus on the gun
No.
that much, but just sitting
No,
there
it
like,
was just there. I didn't know
man.
if Peter could see that gun, but it was still there. It was
Yeah.
just there. And it was just that was the perfect dad talk. Probably the second best to what was it, Bad Boys?
oh,
Oh.
yeah. Who the fuck are you?
You look 30.
Like nigga, you at least 30.
They didn't go wrong with this one.
No,
This one was really, really good.
So if you haven't seen it, I don't know what the fuck you're doing watching this video, but check it out again.
Let's give it a rating.
Let's give it a rating out of 5.
Out of 5 beers.
5 beers. 5 beers. You want to go, Steve, first?
5, obviously.
5.
Yeah, no, loved it.
I'll give it a 5.
I want to give it anything. I don't. Yeah, it's a 5. I'm gonna go
5.
5.
Yeah.
Which is weird because
5 out of 5.
You try to look for something and you can't.
I
It's
literally
hard.
worked to try and find anything.
Can't find anything to complain about, man.
Yeah.
I had more to complain
Considering-
about in Logan.
I
Which,
mean-
by the way, very different types of movie.
Yeah.
But I thought this
Yeah,
was,
like I said, the teenage high school
A better
aspect of it was
overall.
good. The Spider-Man was good. The villain was good and well thought out. Character development,
there
action.
were parts that
all
surprised
of it.
us, which is incredibly
Yeah, the
rare,
twist.
especially with a reveal like that.
And
Yeah.
very believable, very down to earth. Like nothing too
Yeah.
spectacular. Spider-Man.
Yeah. nothing
buns.
too dark or boring like Batman.
Yeah,
versus
nothing too
Superman.
dark. Yeah, it didn't get too dark. It was like all
And
very.
I honestly cannot wait to see what they do next with this character and with this franchise because I'm so excited.
Me too, but I just like I said, I just
Don't think about it.
want them to make
Yeah.
If you hear
good
something,
decisions.
Because
say
after that,
something.
that
You hear something, say something.
Look, there's still a sour taste in my mouth from that Topher Grace Venom in Spider-Man 3.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
So
I
don't
doubt
fuck
they're
it
gonna
up
make a
twice.
Oh fuck!
Don't fuck it up twice.
I was gonna say I doubt they're gonna Tom Hardy's gonna let them do a bad version, and then I thought,
How
about
is he
Bane.
gonna? How does he fucking have?
He shows up and
Yeah,
reads his lines.
I mean, he's. I mean, look.
No, but I mean, what?
yeah,
he does a good
think about how
job.
stupid Bane was.
I think
sorry.
Bane was good except for his voice.
I
which they really-
I will give him credit that he did great as Bane in a bad Batman movie. And so I'm afraid he might do great as Venom in a terrible...
in a bad Venom movie.
Yeah.
Amazing Spider-Man. You heard it here. All
out of
3 of us
5.
gave it 5 out of 5
That's
beers.
rare.
Very rare.
Unanimous 5 out of
Did
5.
I just call it Amazing Spider-Man? Spider-Man Homecoming. That's what I meant.
It was
Yeah.
just so damn amazing.
Yeah, it was. He was the spectacular, the amazing Spider-Man.
He was spectacular. It was amazing.
Everything.
If
He
you
was
guys
our
like this,
neighborhood Spider-Man.
if you guys like this video, be sure to subscribe to Humpcast. Check out the podcast. Comes
Give it a
out
like.
every Wednesday. Give it a like. Subscribe to the YouTube channel. We like to do things like this for you. Follow me on Twitter and Instagram at Ryan P. Demarest, and go to humpcast.com.
My name is Garrett A.M. Lee. You can follow me at Garrett_A.M. Lee at Twitter, Instagram, and that's about it.
Yeah, and I'm Steve Rogers. You can just follow me on Twitter at Steve X Rogers.
That's it.
Yeah.
And
5
so-
out of 5 beers. Go to humpcast.com. Subscribe. We love you.